Okay, joining us now is Kasey Kahne. He drives the number 4 Red Bull Toyota. And Kasey is inching his way up there. He's 11th in points. And Kasey, talk about your mindset and overall your thoughts about the start so far this year for the number 4 team.
Well, I mean, so far it's been a good start. We've been learning some things. You know, the cars are a lot different than what we've done in the past, and so I think just putting it all together, I feel like we've been off every week, but we've still been running pretty good, and we've been finishing pretty strong. So if we can keep working on that, and we have a great team, Red Bull's behind it, all the guys building the race cars. It's really nice to drive. You know, awesome equipment, nice cars. TRD does a good job, so it's been good. We just need to keep working and getting the car a little bit better, and the teams came together really well, really quick, and I think we can run pretty strong throughout this entire season.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Kasey. If you have one, raise your hand. Let's get to this gentleman right here, and we'll go to Mr. Bryan right here, and we'll work our way around. Go ahead, sir.
Kasey, Justin Feldkamp with WSCT TV. Through 5 races, have you seen the positive and negatives of the new point system?
I think it's a little bit different, you know, for myself. I've just really been trying to be consistent and get the best finish you can. It seems like you can lose a lot of points pretty easily, you know, or gain some if you run well. If you win the race, there's some bonus points there. So I think it adds up fast, and so it's all over the place. But I think it just takes time to really see how it's gonna. For myself, I haven't got too in depth with it, so it's just kind of see how it goes throughout the season. But I know you want to be consistent if you want a chance at making the chase.
Go ahead, Brian.
Brian Nelson, Motor Racing Network. Let's look ahead to Talladega a little bit. In Daytona, you had the drivers talking to each other on the headsets, and the spotters kind of sitting down as spectators there for a little bit. Do you expect to see that again when we go back to Talladega? What was that whole thing like in February?
Yeah, I expect you'll see that some more. You know, I think it's just kind of how that racing is going to be right now, the way the cars are and the way the rules are. You know, I think some of it could be better and some of it could be worse, but it's what it is. And the spotters definitely, they're still spotting. They kind of have a long car to spot for now, because actually that guy who's spotting for the front of, you know, for both the cars, so he doesn't clear you till the second car clears, rather than when you clear if you're the lead car. So it made it a lot different. I kind of liked it, but then at the same time I've always really liked the big packs, you know, to where it used to be, and we'd be 4 wide and 10 rows deep, or, you know, 7 rows deep, whatever it was. So it was, you know, it's a lot different. There's probably be less wrecks the way it is now, and not such, you know, the massive, huge wreck.
Who else has a question? Let's go over here to Claire right there, McKella, right there. Claire, and then we'll move our way over here. Go ahead.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. Can you put into words what it's like to drive here, and why you think Jimmy Johnson is so good here?
To me, I think it really, you know, some people get a feeling really quick for it, and it took me a little while to get it. I feel like I'm a little bit better now than I was when I started. But it's a tough track, and it's rhythm, and I think people get really zoned in on, you know, when to do what and how to do it and how your car needs to feel, and that's something that I'm still working on. But Jimmy's awesome at it. I mean, him and Denny are the 2 guys to beat every time you come here, it seems. I think Tony and Jeff used to be, and they're still right there, but Jimmy and Denny are kind of the guys late in the race now, and you know, so it's a different place. It has a lot to do with rhythm, braking, throttle, steering when you're doing all those things, and seems like they've got it down pretty pat. Just like stop and go. You just take off and then you slow down, and you take off and you slow down, and there's a lot of cars around you, so you're always you know, bumping, and you make a mistake, get frustrated, you can get, you know, just taken advantage of really quick and get, you know, frustrated even worse. So it's one of them tracks that can get to you. You got to make sure it doesn't get to you, and just stay out there. It's a long race. 500 laps here takes, you know, it's a good amount of time.
Let's go Rusty, and then go back to Steve Richards and Jim. Go ahead, Rusty.
Rusty Ball, NASCAR Media Group, sliding through the corner here. If I could just get you to look ahead next week, Texas, it's a new night race on the season, and a lot of guys just enjoy going to Texas anyway, and there's a lot of excitement about this new night race.
Yeah, I think Texas is a great place to race. The facility and the fans, everybody that comes out, it's just always a big show. You know, it's really awesome to be part of that, and I think the night race there will be great. It's you know, the day race. I like racing at Texas no matter what, and when we finished at night or watch a truck race at night or something like that, it's pretty awesome. So I think it'll be a great Cup race next Saturday night, and looking forward to it. It's one of our better tracks. I think we should do pretty well.
Let's go to Steve and then up here to Jim.
Yeah, Steve Richards, the PR. And again, Kasey, on Texas, on paper it kind of looks like, you know, Charlotte and Atlanta, but what makes it different than those two other layouts?
To me, the biggest difference is when you get into the corner, the way the car drops into turn 1 and then the way it transitions into 3. The banking's kind of similar. You know, the exit of the corners get flat also, which, you know, Charlotte and Atlanta do it, but not quite as much probably. There's a hole where the tunnels are. There's pretty big holes across the center of the corners, so your car bounces pretty big through there. But it's just a unique track, and it's a tough track. It's a great track.
Okay, let's go to Jim Utter.
Jim Utter, Shaw Observer. Kasey, I know it's still early in the season, but could you talk a little bit about some of the things that you found at Red Bull that put you in a better position than you were at the end of last season, whether it be stability or what you found as far as the cars and so forth?
I think just, you know, something for me was just kind of the attitude and the excitement around Red Bull, and the guys, everybody's excited. The guys building the chassis, the guys building putting the bodies on the cars, preparing the race cars, debriefing them. I mean, there's so many little things, and you walk around there, and it's a good time. You know, it's back to kind of how it should be. I think racing should be, you know, fun. It's a job, but it should be fun too. And they do a really nice job with it, and they put a lot of extra time into their cars. It's nice to see all the little things that they do to prepare. And I think my car is probably one of the nicest cars in that whole garage over there. You know, they do a great job. So I really I'm just happy to be where I'm at, and you know, we've learned a little bit about those cars. They're a little bit different, so it's taken some time, myself and Kenny, and trying to get them perfected. But I think we're getting closer. Like I said, I don't feel like we've ran that well yet, as far as the car and myself and how it's went throughout the whole race. Our pit stops have been great, pit calls, things like that have been good. But we still have a ways to go with the car, and I think we're, you know, to run as well as we are and feel like we're missing it, I think we're could have a pretty good season. It's good with Brian. It's I've always, you know, myself and Brian, we've been friends for a long time. You know, we kind of started about the same time, and he's a good guy. He's been a good teammate. We've been able to work on some things. We drive similar, so some of our setups, I can get in. They can just put mine in his car, his in mine, and it's not out to lunch. You know, you just start kind of fine-tuning it from there for yourself. And so that part of it's been good. I think it's the best, you know, teammate-type stuff, driving styles that I've had, the closest that I've had yet, so it's good.
Kasey, we appreciate it. We wish you a lot of luck here this weekend
All
at
right.
Martinsville Speedway.
Thanks.